In today's guide, I will help you understand Wulfrik the Wanderer and the faction of Norska, as well as Confederate Throgg in 15 turns, and leave you with a campaign where you can start yourself and enjoy the rest of the campaign. And here we are. Wulfrik the Wanderer starts right outside of the monolith of Bjorkhill Bloody Hand, and he's currently at war with two factions. On the one side we have the Nagelfarlings, and on the other side we have Bjornling. So with no time to waste here in this guide, I'm going to embed the sorcerer, the shaman sorcerer, into the army. And I'm going to attack Snugger the Terror. For the purpose of this video, I will actually be playing on legendary difficulty, because if I am playing on legendary difficulty, I'm sure you guys can do it on a lower difficulty as well. Let's jump into the first battle. For this first battle, you have to keep two things in mind. They have the female warriors over here and they have marauder champions, so you need to be extra careful. What you do have, however, is two unit groups of marauder throwing axes against only one of the marauder horsemen. You can take really good advantage of that, and the army, I will normally deploy them over here. Don't forget that Wulfrik has an active ability, it's Sea Fang, and that you can cast it pretty much immediately if they line up. So be on the lookout for that. And you have a a feral mammoth that you can use to pretty good effect here. So let's go right into the battle. What I normally want to do is I'm going to teach their marauder horsemen a lesson. Like I said, I'm playing on legendary difficulty. The AI stat modifier is all the way maxed out, so we want to keep our advantage here. The marauder horsemen will soon break. They don't really know what is going to hit them. I'm going to toggle skirmish mode off so we can keep on kiting them basically, and they are very annoyed by that normally. So they have the marauder spearmen and their marauder horsemen that are not in the battle, and we can just keep running them around. They do some pretty decent damage to us though, so you need to be very careful. Now on the other side, I would like my Lord Wulfrik the Wanderer on their marauder champions. I'm going to be flanking with my own marauder champions, and I will go with my marauder berserkers because they are anti-infantry on their strongest units. Same thing over here, I'm going to be flanking and I'm going to be putting my mammoth on their lord. Now, like I said, you can actually cast Sea Fang here. Hopefully that will work out. Oh, it didn't work out. It's actually better to do it this way. So basically try to cast Sea Fang. Will take a couple of seconds, but you will wreck through some of their units, which will already shake their marauders quite a bit. Keep Wulfrik alive and make sure the rest of your units are coming in from this side. And you always can cast your Searing Doom here as well, so keep that in mind. Your feral mammoth will easily take Snagger the Terror down. And congratulations, that's your first victory. You can choose between any of these, but I normally try to get some treasury. And a good thing about Wulfrik's faction here is once you take down their warlords, you can actually form confederation here, and this will expand your empire. So now you own Trollfjord as well. One thing to keep in mind playing with Wulfrik the Wanderer is that you can always go in stance raiding or stance raiding camp, and this will both decrease your upkeep, one minus 30% and the other one minus 20%. You will always get a little bit more casualty replenishment rate with the raiding camp, but it's good to keep in mind that you can reduce your upkeep basically early on. So let's go ahead and go for the mood now. What we do want to do, I can show you, but you basically get more income now if you raid, but I really would like to get some more marauder spearmen here. You can also get some normal marauders. I mean, it doesn't really matter early on to me personally. But our next objective will basically be confederating the Greyling mood, so the Nagelfarlings. Let's take a step back and look at the objectives for the campaign. To achieve a short campaign victory, you need to attain a level 2 allegiance with any god. You can see that here in the top. This is basically once you take down a settlement, you can loot, raise or sack, or you can actually raise a monolith basically for any of the gods here. And the one I like the most early on and later basically to destroy the empire is the crow's gaze. So you will want to get your allegiance up with the crow, but you can basically choose whatever you want. But I really like the exalted great unclean one, that's a lord. I do actually like the serpent as well, that reduces your upkeep even more. But I will normally go for the champion of the crow. But that's not really for this guide, because we will only be playing until we are to a certain point that I want to let you guys experience the rest of the campaign for yourself. Now here for the building inside of the Monolith of Bjorkale Bloody Hand, I always like to get the growth first, because basically you can quickly get your growth up. Same thing over here, Marauders to Builders. That will be the commandment we use. Let's go to turn 2. On turn 2, not a whole lot can be done, but we just rush over to the Grayling Mood. There's no lords yet, but he will soon present himself. Let's get some Marauders here, and let's end the turn. And it's like I knew this was going to happen. At turn 3, Lamandal, it's the leader of their tribe, presents himself. So basically, I mean, he doesn't want to join confederation here, so you want to be attacking him immediately. He is in a settlement, he has 6 garrison and he has 7 units, but luckily we matched that count. We also have 13 units here. So let's go ahead and go in. Already a close victory predicted, so you can basically fight it yourself or auto-resolve, it's just what you're most comfortable at. But before you do that, please get another point in Searing Doom. And basically, because of the purpose of this video, I'm going to auto-resolve. It doesn't really matter. Thank you. And like I said here, you can raise it for the Hound, Crow, Serpent or Eagle. I normally like to confederate Norsca a little bit, so no allegiance yet here. So I'm going to be occupying this, and I will get the option to confederate the Nagel Farling. So let's do that. And now we're already at turn 3, have 5 settlements. Now you are at a basic crossroad. Where do you want to go? You can either go to the south here, but once you take any of these settlements here, you will immediately see the rest of the empire. So what I normally like to do is actually focus my gaze on the north here. So Varg camp, Sutra Ak is there. We will actually try to confederate him, so that we know that we have the north secured, and afterwards we can push through Throgg, and afterwards we can push to Throgg here, and make sure we confederate him as well in this guide. So keep on getting some units, so you can actually get better units now because of the buildings that are currently in this settlement. I don't necessarily like this building over here, so I'm going to destroy that for a little bit more gold. But what I'm going to get is probably get a little bit more of these units. So let's get 2 Marauder Horsemen, and we get some Marauders. You can just pick whatever you want. I do like them a lot. For the skill points of Wulfrik, I normally go Route Marcher, I go Dominating Presence and Norse Resilience. Norse Resilience I really like because of the replenishment. And for Shaman Sorcerer, we go into Searing Doom once again, so we can overcast it, do a whole lot of damage. But this is basically what you are at turn 3. We still have a nice amount of income, but we can obviously get that way better later on once we start with the raiding camp or with raiding, so we reduce our upkeep. Same thing basically over here, get some growth, and I would suggest just getting rid of the Marauder Chariot building, but if you really like that Marauder Chariot building, just keep it. I mean, it's all your own choice, at least for your own campaign. Let's go to turn 4. In turn 4, we're currently... Oh, what am I doing here? Yeah, we're currently just going to start moving forward here. What I would like to do, I can go into Stanza Raiding Camp, and we are slowly going to move towards Sutra Ak. So once again, let's get some more units. I would like some Marauders. You can also get some Marauder Spearmen for his chariots. And obviously, because I destroyed this, the local recruitment capacity went down. So you can keep that as well later on. So let's get some growth here. Maybe it's better, I don't know. Not really figured that out yet. What I do want to do after this turn, I'm going to get another lord. And for the technology, I early on like to get the blade worker's hammer. Let's go to turn 5 and let's start moving forward a little bit more. His army is definitely in the Varg camp, so we're moving closer now. We're getting some more units. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Let's get some Marauder horsemen. So after we recruit these units, I want another lord. So that will be next turn. Otherwise, the recruitment is full, of course. Keep on upgrading your buildings because you have quite enough money. And let's go to the next turn. Maybe you guys, by the way, think it's weird that I'm doing it like this. So raiding my own province, because that will definitely give us minus control, -5 for the raiding. But it's actually really good for the upkeep. So that's why I'm doing it. But right now we're going into ambush mode. And we're going to be moving over here. There we go. So we basically have this entire valley on lock, and we have an 80% ambush success chance here. You guys see already where I'm going. Citra Egg is there, and we can actually grab another lord. So we have Snagger the Terror, or I mean, it's fine. That's the first lord we defeated. Let's go in, and we will be grabbing some more units. You can see our income is going down quite rapidly. But I want to actually declare war on him right now. Let's hope he runs into me. I think he will. And let's keep upgrading the rest of our settlements there. Good. Let's see what's going to happen. Alright, nothing right now. But what we can do is a little baiting. What I like to do is get my unit over here. My lord. I'm going to raid. And basically we are angering him. And he sees that there is a weak lord over here, so they are normally inclined to actually attack. And like I said, we're ambushing him. So what we can do now, could make sure this army will be ours, then we need to attack him and win. You can also ambush him, auto-resolve and immediately win this battle. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to fight this battle manually. Oh, and here we are. Yeah, just set up like you want. I really would like to immediately clear a bunch of their units. But that's why we're running in with our spearmen over here. Our mammoth needs to be in the front. And we're going to move Wulfrik a little in the back. But basically what we're going to do is run in, crush them with everything we got, and win this battle. Let's go. Be sure you start to move in. You have Seafang ready. They are shocked by what's going on, so they will probably want to run away. But we just keep on going. They're blowing up over here, so we can use our marauders. Horsemen. We have a nice amount of spells, so get it in over there. And basically what's happening now is we are surprising them, and they're just running all over the place. They are not really too fresh anymore, because they are basically just freaked out. What we also can do now is get a good Seafang, not Sunfang, it's not Tyrion, if he's not stuck there. Thirta Egg is down. We're going to be grabbing, our money, and we can form confederation here. Yeah, -3k, that sort of hurts. We're going to be abandoning this army over here. There's another army over here, Gobranson. There we go, and this way isn't as bad, -600 only. What we can do is start raiding here, obviously, and what we now want to do is start moving over to the Saul encampment. Of course, I want to grab my second army over here, and we're going there as well. We have a net positive income with 2 full stacks. We're only losing like 1 unit for every stack here, so 19. Yeah, basically 1 short every army. But now we have our arrows fixed on Throgg. We want to be confederating him as well. And Sorcerer, let's get Gehenna's Golden Hounds. They can come in handy in the future against, for example, Throgg. Route Marcher for Thirta Egg. And now we're on our way to destroy Throgg. And over here, I suggest just taking down some of these buildings. I mean, it's pretty good to get this upgraded, but it doesn't really net you a whole lot of income. It's 200 apiece, so 400. It's pretty good. And let's get some growth. You are now running into a low amount of funds here. That's fine. Let's get some growth. Don't really worry about the control, because you will always have your chaos, undivided corruption, and that will be a plus 10 buff. Let's go to turn 9. 9 is pretty easy. We're just trying to make our way to the Sun encampment here. So we're just going to be moving. The only thing that you need to keep in mind, this dude of Sorrow, he is the vassal of the Ecstatic Legion. So if you don't want to go to war with the Ecstatic Legion, just leave them there for the time being. We're going to cross their lands. They don't like that, but they will be over it very, very quickly afterwards. They will like you later on in the campaign. Don't worry about that. But we're crossing their lands into the Forbidden Capital. So we want to spot Throgg and take him down, obviously, with 2 armies. That's what we want to do for the next turns. So normally what I do after getting the Blade Worker's Hammer, I'm going with Sea Marauder tools to get Corpulent Sails to improve our campaign movement range by 10%. I really like that. And I basically spend all my money on upgrades, so don't worry about that. You will get quite a bit of additional income here. And here we are already. Throgg wants to go to war with you, so that's a little bit earlier than you sometimes expect. To me it now happens on turn 10. Sometimes he does that way later on, but that's a sign for you to start making your way to his lands. What you can already do is move Wulfrik a little bit closer. You don't see Throgg yet, so just stand here. You can also start raiding their lands. They don't necessarily like that, so make sure Sutra Ek is actually closer to you. And with 2 armies you can definitely defeat Throgg, so keep that in mind. It can always happen when you don't expect it, to be honest. Let's already move a little closer here actually to get some more money, because we want to be dragging Throgg in, obviously. He's normally to the east, so he's more likely at the altar of spawns. So remember here, the only thing that's really needed, to be honest, is getting Throgg down. So you don't need to take anything else. So the Forbidden Capital doesn't really matter. You can disregard that, although it's blocking the way to the altar of spawns. So be careful. Don't just lose unnecessary units. That's what I like to say. So there's 1 stack over here. You need to be careful of that. What we're going to do now is we're going to be grabbing the Forbidden Capital for now, decisive victory. Take that with this army, occupy it, and we're getting a bunch of replenishment with Wulfrik. Meanwhile, Surta Ak, you can start raiding and come closer. So once you start walking next to it, it's fine as well. You can raid with Wulfrik and basically make sure that you maximize your profit here. And now you can get the Corpulent Sails for more campaign movement range. Let's go hunt for Throgg. Here we have 2 armies coming in, and there's no Throgg. But sometimes you're in luck, sometimes not. But apparently we are not so lucky right now. Let's keep on upgrading our lord here. There's not a whole lot of ambush chance, but there is some. We could do this, ambush there, and to make things better, let's ambush here as well. I think they will run in. And that's a decisive victory. That's 1 down. And the second one is here with Throgg. So this is going to be a big battle. But what you can do is you can always just run away and try to ambush them again, because this is quite a difficult battle. There we go. We can now see that Throgg is here. Remember, you have a settlement here, so you can keep on ambushing close. We're going to be moving over here. There's not a whole lot of ambush success chance. Most of them is over here. We cannot really be moving 40%. Hopefully this will work. Otherwise we need to fight. So let's see how this will play out. And there we go. If you are not certain here, if you can win this, because you get attacked by Throgg, you can easily just auto-resolve this and build up your army. So I would suggest doing that if you're not comfortable. Otherwise, fight and immediately make sure you confederate Throgg. So there are 2 options here. Don't know what's the best for you guys, For now, I'm going to be trying this battle for you guys, so let's go in. You might ask yourself, why are you fighting this? But that has a reason. The reason is basically because it's really a shame if you don't do this and you lose out on a whole lot of units that you can otherwise confederate. So you need to be very careful, however, against Throgg. Let's go and try to fight this. Throgg is like the most important one to take down. And he's really strong as well. So keep using your sorcerer here against most of their unit groups. That's mostly over here. Once you start to break through, and you will know when they are running away, then you are on the good path here. There we go, shattered them. Our mammoth is still alive, so that's good. The only one that we really want to take down is Throgg though. That's the only one that's really important to take down. And this was probably the most messiest battle of my life, but we managed to pull it off. A Pyrrhic victory, so you can either just auto-resolve it or do this. I don't know what you prefer, but please fight it better than me, and maybe on a lower difficulty it's easier. I don't know. But in the end, we got there. I'm sorry for the terrible fight. And here we go. We got a bunch of money. We destroyed Throgg. Grab myself the money. They're running away, but you know what that means. The next turn we can confederate Throgg. Form confederation, and there we have it. There was an army on its way over here, so let's get rid of them. Kick them. We have now the two armies here. We still have our Mar Mammoth. We have all of our imported units. The only one we lost is... No, we actually didn't lose anything on both of them. We can get rid of most of the units here. Maybe get them together. I don't know what's easy to do. But once you grab all of these units, get rid of another army, you basically own pretty much everything here. So what you want to do next, the next steps, are probably just keep the scaling alive here for the time being. You don't want to anger the Empire, but afterwards you quickly go for Cracker Drag, Shock Drag and Frozen Landing. You can actually watch my legendary campaign playthrough of Norsca as well on the channel. I actually managed to vassalize the Chaos Dwarfs by taking down the forces of the dwarves, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I think it's a really fun campaign, and I hope to see you guys in the next guide. Goodbye.